And 5 more minutes till we're live.
Test.
What do you think about that, Sal?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we're going to play a little bit of music here before the show starts. And I think it's only apropos that we play a song by me.
I see you walking past my window. That's okay. I see that gleaming bright. I know you got a sweet tooth. That's alright by me. When you gonna take me home? 'Cause I know you want to. Let's do it today. Oh, I got some sugar loving, kind of will let you get away. Inside and carry me running out the door. That's the way you want out to be. A little spare change in a great big hug. Who could ask for anything more? No one but me. Sugar and spice, you know that's nice. That's the way got me, red, white stripes, all different types, but I'm the only one for you. Some explaining to do, baby.
Pissing me off.
What the hell are you doing, Carmen? My mom said if you want to become a lesbian, you have to lick carpet.
This is Uncle Stewie again with a very special announcement. Pissing me off.
And it rocks.
Get over it, guys, okay? Get over it.
I agree with you 100%.
Now that we've dimmed the lights in the studio just a little bit, do you think that you could calm down?
It's time for the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem with Linda and Darren.
Singing is the lowest form of communication.
Homer, you sing all the time.
No, I don't. I hate to rhyme.
You like musicals, don't you, Dad?
No, I don't. I think they're bad. They're fake and phony and totally wrong.
Wake up, Dad. You're singing a song.
I wouldn't. I couldn't. I hate that stuff.
Now, Homer, listen. I've had enough. In our family videos, we have plainly seen you're a singing, dancing, entertainment machine.
Woohoo! Yay! We're here.
And it's windy out.
Why, yes, it is, Sal.
Very, very windy. You need to pop me up.
Well, don't get hot about it. That's just your headphones I need to turn up.
Yeah, well, something. So
Okay, well, don't get. You don't have to get angry about it. I'm right here.
So what's with this wind outside all of a sudden?
Oh, somebody's taking my wind.
Wasn't it just like 89 degrees and all of a sudden it's like 20?
It's kind of amazing how great the weather's been, man. I mean, it's been amazing. And then it literally rained because I was up Friday night at 1 o'clock in the morning. It started raining at 1 o'clock in the morning Friday night. Did not stop until 1 o'clock. It rained 24 hours straight.
Are you out there measuring? And
I am.
You know exactly 1 o'clock?
Well, because I was awake and I watched the radar.
Over here.
Yeah, I have to. I have the baseball fields I have to maintain.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so I'm on the weather.
All right.
I'm like the Tommy Skillet head of Kendall County.
You got it.
I don't know why you got to be so
What's
angry.
the forecast for tonight?
Tonight is going to be cold, chilly, and windy.
All right. You're knocking it out of the park as usual.
I am.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, don't get. The show's been on for 10 seconds. Can I?
Already, people are bored. I could tell.
Well, listen, Linda's not here. She's in California, and I got to tell you this. When I took her to the airport Friday, she had a lot of luggage for an 8-day trip.
Where is she going?
She's in California visiting her sister.
Oh, okay. So it's not business.
No, but I'm curious. I mean, the size of the luggage, the weight of it all, how much there was, I'm not sure she's coming back.
Are you sure she didn't bring someone with her in the suitcase?
It could be. She might have bought a little fella. A little
She's
person.
already got a little fella. What does she need another one for?
This one's littler and stockier.
Maybe if she has two little fellas, it'll make one big fella.
You're an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Sal to the show today. I got to tell you, Sal, we've done 2 shows up until today. We've only done 1 plus 1, which is 2.
Okay.
We did 2 Sundays.
Yeah.
We've had over 2,000 views on each show.
Which I can't. But why? Who are these people?
Hello. This defined, well-rounded piece of talk box.
I think what they tune in for is to see exactly what Cub paraphernalia you're going to be wearing today.
Well, they're tuning in to see which Hawks paraphernalia you're going to be wearing.
All right, that's fair.
Well, they want, and I had some people ask me, on the side, if Sal was going to be a regular member on the show. And my brother Mike actually messaged me and said Sal was really great on the show.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Well, he's, he could have been high. Who knows?
Okay.
He doesn't
Thanks
smoke weed.
anyways.
I'm just kidding. I was just throwing that out there. You could be high on a lot of things. High on life.
Well, thanks to him. Okay, so back to the suitcases. We just keep jumping all over the place.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
All right, so
I'm a jumper.
she's going there for 8 days and bringing
9 days.
9 days. You said 8 before.
Well, whatever.
In about a half hour, it's going to be she's there for a week.
13.
So she's just going to visit family then.
Yeah,
And
her
that's it.
sister.
Okay.
I think I was clear about that.
Yeah, you were. So
But-
did I tell you it's real windy?
It's very windy. What's really cool are the Jeeps parked outside, except yours is way, way cooler. I called Dempsey Dodge. By the way, now that's a plug.
It is.
I called Dempsey Dodge the other day. I was just laying on the couch watching TV, and I was going through my iPad, and I'm like, wow, they're going to... It sticks in my head that Sal's got this SRT. He's got this SRT Jeep that goes like 800 miles an hour, because if you come to town at all and see Sal driving around, he's going 800 miles an hour out of every parking space. But it's really kick-ass. And so I saw that they had this really cool red one. Because the one No, I'm not spending $90,000 on a fucking car, right, unless it's a Porsche or a Ferrari.
All right, so what was it? A Jeep?
Yeah, it was another Cherokee, because I have a Cherokee.
Right.
You just have the best and biggest and fastest Cherokee.
Okay, so
well, I called to trade mine in. I've had mine for 60 days.
Why would you?
I had to ask the question. Then I literally hung up the phone with Dempsey Dodge, and I called Linda, and I went, I might be trading in my Jeep if I can make some sense out of this. She went, you can't make any sense out of
just
this.
Because of the color?
No, because mine's not 4-wheel drive. I bought the front wheel drive, the small engine, killer gas mileage.
Oh, yeah, I traded in. I get rid of it.
Well,
it's a Jeep. It's supposed to be 4-wheel drive.
That's what I'm thinking. But you know what? I love my little
Too
Jeep.
bad you thought of it 60 days later.
listen, I put enough money down on that Jeep that I still got equity.
All right. Then get the 4-wheel drive one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have equity, but the truth is that equity I bought.
I'm sure they'll make it happen for you, especially if you tell them who you are.
You idiot. I hate you. I hate you so much right now. So, anyway, I was just sitting here realizing that you kind of look a lot like Harvey Weinstein.
No, I don't think I do.
You kind of do.
If I close one eye...
You look a little bit like Harvey Weinstein, which brings...
and I grab a whole bunch. You know what I want to know, though? I don't know a lot about this guy.
I'm crying already.
But I did see an interview the other day with that rotten individual, Jane Fonda, who I can't stand. Everybody knows I hate her. But she said that she's known all along, but she didn't think it was her place to say anything. Now, I could be misquoting her, but that was the gist of it.
I read the same thing, and you know, I would imagine that situation. Listen, just being a perv, I don't know. We come from a different generation, so hitting on chicks all the time. But then there's these stories about him pulling out his schlong and showing it to people. So I don't know. You know, I don't know. But yeah, if you knew the guy was just abusive for many, many years, why wouldn't you say anything? But then there's that kind of whole gray area going, do I even want to get myself into this? You know, look what happened to Ben Affleck by keeping his mouth shut.
Right. Well, I just think I think Jane is just saying this just to kind of throw herself in the spotlight. Like I always say, she's just trying to be relevant again.
Well, I mean, listen, aren't we all trying to be? We're doing this fucking show because we're trying to find some relevancy in our lives.
So not relevant. But she's got that one show out there, which I tried to watch. It's just, I can't stand it. Her with Lily Tomlin, who I don't have a problem with.
I like Lily Tomlin.
So do I. I don't have a problem with her. But she does have this show out. But all of a sudden now she's going to come out and say, well, I didn't want to say anything. It wasn't my business to say anything.
Well, but don't you think that celebrities, I mean, they go out and they become famous, and then they get older, and all of a sudden people don't care about them, and there's new and younger celebrities that come out. So you're kind of right. To stay relevant, you have to say something. We have no idea what Jane Fonda may be working on, you know, maybe another workout
I think
video.
She's pissed because he didn't want to do anything with her.
He didn't want to tap that ass.
No, but why? God, gross. Why all these people come out now? That's what I don't understand. Even with Bill Cosby, it's like everybody shut up for all these years. Now one person says something, and then everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he finger banged me too. Oh yeah, he did this." Why now?
You know, I don't know.
They're all coming out now.
I don't. You know, it would be very, very tough. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who's kind of a public figure here in Chicago. You know, and you know she was getting her chops busted by God knows who, and you know people hide behind Facebook. We've talked about this before, so they'll say anything, you know. And it happens that this woman's attractive. It happens that this woman's talented. It happens that this woman's kind and sweet. And she's a lot of things that if you met her, you'd go, man, that'd be kind of a fun chick to hang around. But like I told her when we talked, once you put yourself in the public eye, get ready, because if you're pretty smart and talented, you're fucked. Somebody's going to jump out of the woodwork somewhere along the line to start pecking at you and aggravating you, so you have to let it go. I mean, Sal, you know me. People say a lot of stupid shit about me. They say it on Facebook, and sometimes I bring it upon myself, and I don't intentionally do it. You know, I got a lot of shit because on the Darren Edwards Project page, I was really excited about the new band, and I made a comment just while I was in a conversation. It was all off the cuff. It's not like nothing in my life is scripted. Not a second of it. And I made this, and I said, we're going to be the best band in Chicago. And oh my God, you would have thought that I had said that I knew who killed Kennedy. I got so many phone calls, so many text messages, so many private messages, emails. People that are close to me were really angry with me. And
why?
Because it's assuming. Based on what we're trying to do, I'm saying something that sounds arrogant or whatever the case may be. It didn't translate in what I was saying and how I felt, by putting it out to the public to a bunch of people I didn't know. So a bunch of people who didn't know me went, what a dick. And people who knew me went, oh, yeah, he's a dick. But it didn't anger people who knew me. It angered people who, or put them off, people who didn't know me.
So did you address it then afterwards?
Well, what I did is I immediately pulled down the video, and then I didn't address it because I was concerned about how to go about it. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of let it die. But I certainly didn't mean, I think at one point in the video, it was funny because it was a 12-minute video and there was this like 4-second part where I was laughing and I said, man, there's a lot of bands out there that suck. and I took a ton of shit about that on top of it. It was all in the same constraint of the video. So my point here being is that if you're a celebrity, and I'm certainly not a celebrity, but if you are a celebrity of that caliber and you got millions of people following you, I mean, you're just open to a shitstorm of controversy. And so I advise my friend, you got to let it go. Got to let it go. If you can make a change, if it was about a post or whatever, remove the post. But short of that, there is absolutely no goddamn way in hell that you're going to please everybody, make everybody happy, make everybody love you. It's never going to happen.
But you can come close.
You can come real close. Because
and you're
look
not even close.
No, look at me. I'm the prime example of love. I am love.
That's, yeah.
I am.
She left for how many days?
It's unclear. I never saw the return ticket.
We don't know who's in her suitcase.
You want to know what she did that really pissed me off? Now, if you know Linda, and some people out there that will watch this show, whether today or this week, know Linda. Linda is as frugal gets. Okay? I mean, frugal. So I go to the store, like toilet paper is something that you can't be without, right?
Yes.
You don't ever want to be without.
Is this somehow going to transition to the cherry pie thing again?
No, it's not. Okay. This is just shit about Linda that drives me insane. So I always buy good toilet paper. Now, I'm not a Charmin guy because it's too thick. Well, it's too thick, and, it has a tendency to particle itself up, right? So you don't want any of those particles getting stuck around your business because, you bump into somebody getting ready to toss down. You don't want to have particles everywhere.
I'm just having a feeling the views are not going to be as much as they've been in the past.
Hold on. So I bought all this toilet paper. We have 2 bathrooms here, and I bought this great toilet paper that I did buy on sale. Okay, gotcha. And they're big double rolls, and they're comfortable, and they're half the price of like Charmin. Well, that wasn't good enough for the Bishop. No. Bishop goes out. She bought toilet paper, Sal, that you can't even roll it off the roll without it tearing. Single ply.
Oh, was it the Scots or who?
No, it's not even. I think it's Joe. It's Joe toilet paper.
I've heard of that. Joe toilet paper.
Guy makes it in his garage out of used sheets of printer stuff that, like Linda, she uses the printer, and when she print,
okay, weather, Harvey, suitcase.
Listen, we got to move around. I only have so much time to do a show.
You're right. I can't believe it's been 15 minutes.
But she takes the paper and, like, let's say she uses a side of paper. She flips it over.
Wait, we're talking about printing. Not toilet paper.
We're on printing
not
now.
Wiping her ass.
Well, no, but it all ties into her frugality. So she flips the paper over and then prints stuff on it. And then she, like, important things we need to talk about, investments, savings, whatever. She hands it to me and I get it and I go, what the fuck is this? And which side do I read? She goes, no, I just reused the stuff we were done with. Like,
maybe she could X out the side she doesn't need
No.
anymore. It'd be a lot easier for her.
No, I can't afford the Sharpies that it would take to X out all the fucking paper in my house. Stupid. I'm so glad she's not here today because
she'll never hear this.
She'll never hear it. As a matter of fact, she just called a little while ago, and she's somebody stole her credit card. She's in California, got her credit card number. So
somebody got her credit card number?
Yeah, so she had to stop her credit card, and they got her bank card. So she had to stop the bank card. They started tagging the bank account and withdrawing money. So I have the other one from the other bank account. So she called Chase and she moved the shit to the other account, and she doesn't have the card that I have, so I gave her that number. But yeah, that happened.
It's a hell of a trip.
Now we just loaded so much shit in the first 15 minutes of this show.
I'm exhausted.
I know. I want to take a nap. You want to cuddle?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm thinking
well,
no.
Listen. Before we go on any further, I got a lot of great music to play today, and I want to play. Hold on. Let me get this pulled up. It's up, okay? Because I lost the entire show this morning in a panic at 10 o'clock by hitting the wrong button, so I was pretty aggravated. I was very aggravated, but I got a lot of great music I want to play today, and there's a band in Chicago called Yoko and the Onos.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Well, see, this is what the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem is about.
Is.
I mean, do you get the fucking point now?
So glad I'm here.
Yeah, oh God.
All right, so we're going to play this?
Yeah, we're gonna play Yoko's and the Onos "Love You." This is really a great song, and
Are you all right there?
yeah, I think I just had a mini stroke.
Play
again.
Play.
Oh, okay. Is that the triangle?
It's one of them.
All right, I'm gonna hit this. Here's some music for you. We'll be right back here. Oh, you know what I should do?
Can't imagine.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna go right into the song. You're beautiful, Sal.
Thanks, buddy.
I walked into the room and I saw you at the bar. Not a perfect 10, but you're certainly at the par. You turned to me and suddenly my jaw clutches tight. If you buy me a drink, I'll stay over for the night. I'm a bowler to you and I stop to smile. Had a few drinks, started talking for a while. Single to you, we both done this before. So it won't be long till we're loving on the floor. I'm not looking for love, I don't need romance. Don't give your whole self, you don't stand a chance. You ask me what I'm looking for, I'll take it right away. Don't be too fast, 'cause I just wanna love you for the day. Don't be too fast, 'cause I just wanna love you for the day. I'm a bowler to you and I stop to smile. Had a few drinks, started talking for a while. Single to you, we both done this before. So it won't be long till we're loving on the floor. I'm loving no more than with your body next to mine. Don't remember much, but my rapport was divine. You turn to me and say, "Oh, last night was great." I said I must be going before we get too late. I'm not looking for love, I don't need romance. Don't give your whole self, you don't stand a chance. You ask me what I'm looking for, I'll take you right away. Don't be too fast, 'cause I just wanna love you for the day. I just wanna love you, oh, oh. I just wanna love you, I just wanna love you, oh, oh. I just wanna love you, I just wanna love you, oh, oh. I just wanna love you, I just wanna love you,
Professional radio for you at its finest.
We can hear it again. Actually, I like that.
That was a really good song.
I never heard of them. That was good.
I have this new software, and we were just talking about this in the break, that I'm using, and the other computer's got to come in here, but I'm painting this little studio. So, and everything's moving around. Guitars are all getting hung up on the wall. There's a cool Dag Nabit logo that's going up on the back wall. And the whole little studio is getting painted. So I haven't brought that other stuff in here, and that other stuff has a software that allows me to assemble the show differently. Yeah. So I just hit a button, and it takes us into our bumps, and it takes us into... So I didn't do the bump out.
All right, but we had discussed this, though. When you do play a video, though, they'll be able to see the video then. Yeah,
so what'll be cool is that when we go to a video or we go to an artist or we go to any news clip, so in other words, if you're here doing the show with us and you have something you want to talk about, we'll be able to take the video and it'll show up almost like a TV show up in the corner, the things you're talking about, or we can set up images. Let's say we're talking about Harvey Weinstein. We can put an image of him blowing a goat or something in the corner, which I think would be funny.
It could be.
It could be, but that's the new video board is a video audio board, so it's really cool. It's kind of like a TV board, like they would have in a TV studio.
That would be good instead of them just staring at us all the time.
Well, but I mean, really, when you take a look at this, and Jenny King commented that Charmin sucks. I got to get her. I just talked to her this morning briefly in a text. I got to get her on the show.
Okay. To talk about toilet paper?
To talk about Charmin toilet paper. It's the only thing I want to discuss with her. But no, she's one of the greatest singers in Chicago. And she's a really talented artist. And she's doing all this cool shit with her art. She's doing drum raps. She's been selling phone cases with her art on it. And she's just going bonkers. Now
What's
furniture.
a drum rap?
You know, so what the drums look like on the outside.
Oh, okay.
So
you mean the drum rap?
The rap of the drum.
All right. So did she recommend her favorite toilet paper by chance?
No, but I'm hoping she does.
So she just said Charmin sucks and that's it?
Yeah, well, Jenny's to the point sometimes.
All right, thanks for
Unless you talk to her at midnight, and then, we never get to the
midnight
point.
Midnight till 5 in the morning?
Yes. Actually, 7 in the morning one time. Longest conversation I've ever had in my life. Except when I was a teenager. When you were a teenager, did you ever talk on the phone with like a girlfriend and then fall asleep on the phone? Remember when the phones had a cord and a fucking dial?
Yeah. I think they usually aggravated the crap out of me. I would just hang up anyways.
Huh.
I wouldn't fall asleep.
Maybe it's because they knew you looked like Harvey Weinstein. There you go. Just squint your eyes a little bit and smile and go, it's just what I was just talking about. Wait, that was Gilbert Gottfried.
Well, I'll tell you, he if everything's true, those are some good-looking girls in Hollywood.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, really. I mean, it's
true.
Are you? I mean, Harvey Weinstein's really not an attractive guy. He's got an attractive wallet.
I've never even heard of him.
He's the founder of Miramax.
Yeah, well, not on my radar.
Jesus Christ.
Miramax. Every morning I wake up and I'm going, what did Miramax put out today?
Well, but have you ever watched a movie? I mean, do you ever see those logos at the beginning of the movie? They say Miramax
I know what you're talking
Metro
about.
Goldwyn Mayer.
Yeah, I get it.
By the way, Metro Goldwyn Mayer is MGM.
No, I know this.
In case you didn't get it.
I got it. I know, but I never heard of him.
I'm a little wound up because I'm overdosing on Monster because I work till 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm
at the
starting
restaurant.
to think you never heard of this freaking guy until this happened either.
Who? Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, I don't know if you. I don't believe it. Here we go.
All right, listen. I'm an entertainment guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a movie buff.
Clearly, you are. I could tell.
Clearly,
look at the guitars.
You're an
He's
asshole.
entertaining someone.
I play with myself. As a matter of fact, look at that one guitar. It has 2 necks, so I can pretend there's somebody else here.
All right. So now you were talking about this girl who does drum raps.
Oh yeah, Jenny King.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, if you're in music, especially if you're in Chicago or north of where we're at, everybody knows who Jenny King is.
Okay. Is she going to come in here one day and do the show with you?
That's what I just said earlier here, is that I want to get her in here to do a show.
Okay. Well, you digress so much. I'm still thinking about a drum rack.
Listen, maybe your mind just doesn't move that fast.
But
that could be part of the problem.
Do you have any more music by those? Those guys are pretty good.
Yoko and the Onos?
How old are they?
No, it's the only song they ever wrote. And they made one album, and it just had one song.
One would think that because you played the song again. So I thought, all right, they have one song, you're going to play it again.
I kind of screwed that up. Well, listen, once...
Are they newer?
Yoko and the Onos have been around for several years, but they got signed, and I think, I want to say, shit, it doesn't say in this particular link, but I'm working on this thing to be able to add all our shit in with all the links on our page, for everything we do on the show without adding 42 links and then putting our show at the bottom of our own Facebook page. So this has been kind of challenging since I'm kind of a one-man operation.
Got it.
But Yoko and the Onos have been around for a while. They're a really, really good band. They're kind of this progressive kind of punk.
Yeah.
And a lot of their music, this is a song that actually got a lot of radio play. There's their other music, not quite so much. You know, I mean, but they have a cult following. I didn't mean that in a bad way. They're really, really a good band. So now they've been on tour forever, and then they kind of are now more like the West Coast, because that's where everything's happening.
So you think out here XRT plays them?
Yes, XRT does play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they always have pretty good music that you never heard of.
Oh, yeah. Really? Did you just discover XRT? They've been around. They've been around for a while.
93, 92. I think I started listening to XRT.
All right, bump it up, bitch. I didn't know that you had any kind of musical prowess.
No. A friend of mine turned me on to XRT back in the early 90s, and I started they played a lot of Peter Gabriel and a lot of songs that weren't mainstream, so I liked it. That's one thing I always liked about XRT.
That was, when I met Linda, even though I was in the music business for my whole life before I met Linda got me addicted to XRT and combing my hair.
No, I do like them. I know they still do the Saturday morning flashback. And
well, here's a funny story. I'll tell you a funny XRT story. So Richard Milne did every Sunday night local anesthetic.
Yeah.
And he would play all this local music, and he would play some of the most fucked up music that at the time it was like, what is that? Why are you playing that? Well, when we were on The Bear on CBR, I used to tear Richard Milne a new ass in almost every show. I was really addicted to this guy. And then Linda, Dag Nabit, the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem, was invited to be part of the judging with Richard Milne and I can't remember. Big huge band at the time at the Hard Rock for this national Battle of the Bands thing that was going on. And she sat right next to Richard Milne. She came down from the Hard Rock because she was a judge. So I was just down there drinking, and she came down and she went, Richard Milne's a really nice guy.
Oh, really?
I'm like, fuck. She goes, maybe you need to rethink how much shit you give him on the radio. So I'm like, in my true fashion, I went, yeah, whatever. Screw you, Linda. You don't know nothing. But secretly, and this is what I have done my entire marriage, no matter what Linda thinks or knows, my entire marriage, I go into my little room, kind of like, in my little studio here, and I think about things that I know people smarter than me are saying that I'm unwilling to admit up front. And I started listening to Richard Milne, and I went, this guy may have something, because at that time you couldn't go on to the internet and just pull up the song and listen to it over and over again. YouTube didn't exist. Right. Facebook didn't exist. So you would have to seek out this music, and I would go through the CDs, because we were getting sent 100 CDs a week or more, and I would go through them, and I'd find that band, and I'd put in the CD player, and I'd listen to it over and over again, and I'd listen to more of the music they have, which is a big problem in the music business now, is because people hear one song, and they buy one song, and they get shortchanged on all the other 9 or 10 or 12 songs that might be on that album. It's really sinful. So it's really hard if you're a musician to make money in it, but that's another conversation. So anyway, I find it out, and I went, Richard Milne's a great guy. She said, so Linda suggested I call Richard Milne. And so I called Richard, and I said, hey, you want to write for our paper? He went, sure. And I went from feeling like the king of what I was doing to like this big, because this guy knew I was busting his balls every freaking radio show, telling him he was playing crappy music. And the truth was, he was playing all the coolest new music. He was just always, a couple years ahead of his time. But he turned out to be a really, really great
still
guy.
On?
Yeah, he still does local anesthetic.
I wonder if all the DJs are still there. Like
they are. Terry Hemmert's still there. Richard Milne. They lost. Shit, I can't remember who that one.
Frankie Lee, wasn't he on there?
Yeah, I think Frankie Lee's still there. Everybody, XRT's a unique situation because WXRT has had like the same staff for like 20-something years, and they've been doing the same shit. Now, XRT has changed their program. They changed their program, I think, last year or the year before. So sometimes you hear some programming at certain times of the day that are repetitive, kind of like you would hear on any other.
Like Top 40 or something?
Yeah, well, not that it's Top 40, but they're repeating the same things, which they never used to do.
Yeah.
But it's only, I noticed, and I thought originally, because it was in the Tribune, that there was these program changes, and, you got to go after the money because XRT was hurting or whatever the case may be. But it's really only a very small segment of their daily the show, the 24 hours that they're on the air. So they play a lot of cool new music still. And it's the best radio station in Chicago, hands down. Because they'll play Foo Fighters, and then they'll go to Yoko and the Onos.
Yeah.
You turn on the fucking loop, and you want to put a gun in your mouth, because my drive from here to Midway Airport, I can hear Journey 3 times.
Yeah.
So...
Well, with Apple Music, I don't really even listen to FM anymore. I hardly don't anymore because Apple Music, I just make the playlist I want, and that's what I listen to.
If I'm going to listen to terrestrial radio, and I got to tell you, terrestrial radio, in my opinion, blows because of what I just mentioned. But I listen to XRT primarily if I'm going to listen to music. I listen to the loop when I want to get rocked out into the 70s, 80s a little bit. But I'm not, I'm really never in my car long enough. So if I am going to be in my car, like when I'm out working during the day, I got headphones on. I listen to everything through Apple Music or iTunes.
And sometimes I feel like I'm not getting exposed to newer music because I'm just listening to what I put in my playlist.
What you're being fed.
Yeah, and I don't even listen to the radio on Apple Music, which I should.
If you sit down and you type in new music, I mean, like cool new Chicago music, and you get, a list of what's popular for this year, those.
Are you talking within Apple rate?
No, I'm just saying through Google.
On the internet, okay.
And you'll find those things, and then you seek them out, and you just go look at them, and you add them to your playlist, and that's really cool. As a matter of fact, which brings me to an important point here, because I'm going to play some cool local music. And when I did my audio test earlier today, Facebook was busting my balls. But there's a couple of artists here. Oh God, by the way, I just clicked on this because this is amazing. Leonid and Friends.
Never heard of it.
Okay, Leonid and Friends is a Russian band. Okay.
Oh, I could see that because I can't read it.
Right. They're a Russian band. They're amazing. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to play this right now.
Okay.
So Leonid and Friends is the drummer put this band together, and it was just all these great jazz musicians and shit in Russia that he knew, and he said, let's do something fun and try it out. Okay. Get ready for this, bitches. This fucking rocks.
Hello again, everybody. You're listening to the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem, and Dag Nabit spelled backwards is Gad Tibam, or something like that. I don't. Is this gonna be on the air?
That's Leonid and Friends, man. That's a Russian band.
That was great. I'll tell you,
doing Chicago.
Yeah, that was really good,
dude. I have so much good music today. And Chicago artists that I'm going to play, and I got a myriad of it. And we didn't touch it. I wanted to do Leonid and Friends last week, but we had Toshi Azeda on.
I seen.
Yeah, Toshi is one of my favorite guitar players in the whole world. And, he's from Chicago here. And this is a guy who made playing guitar his job. And that is so hard to do. Mm-hmm. It's mind-blowing. So he's done it. He's going to be at Biketoberfest in Florida this week coming up, playing on the back of a Dodge pickup truck, 4 shows a day for 4 days.
Wow.
That's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, it was a good show last week.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We ran 3 hours. We only anticipated going 2, but it was such an interesting conversation on the music biz and the trials and tribulations that artists have that, I think it's interesting, and that's what the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem is about. And as this grows, I'm in touch with a lot of people right now. This is going to get bigger. I mean, you're going to have to lose a lot of weight to fit the people in our studio. I'm just saying.
I don't even know why I still come here. I have no idea.
Well, it's because of my charm. Yeah. You like my charm.
Very charming.
But, yeah, that's Leonid and Friends, man. I mean, what can you say other than freaking wow? And you go to their YouTube channel, they've got all these Chicago songs that they're doing. Like I said, the drummer is a guy who put this all together, and he's got what's really cool about it, and this would be like my dream band, is this range of ages of the people who are in the band. Somehow because of his influences with jazz, he was able to attract all these great musicians, and they all had an interest in the band Chicago from the United States, which, incidentally, is one of the great... What are your 3 greatest concerts you've ever been to?
Oh, that's a good one. Definitely Secret World Live, Peter Gabriel. That's probably my number 1. Seen the Bodines.
The Bodines.
Love them.
Bodines, that's who Linda did the judging with at the Hard Rock.
Oh,
anyway,
really?
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Wisconsin band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably a couple Peter
Sam
Gabriel.
Alanis. That's who it was.
Yeah, but you know what? I was talking the other day with someone, and I don't know why those two split up. Kurt and Sammy. Why? I have no idea. Now, I know Kurt still has the name The Bodines. I know he had some newer music out. But I think he's just missing so much with the vocals from Sammy.
Well, here's the thing, because I can only say this from my perspective, but I know a lot of other artists, and writing is tough. You get in these cycles where you just write, and you just seem to write one song after another. At least for me, one after another, and then man, you hit this terrible dry spell, and you don't know how to pull yourself out of it, because either life is good or life is shitty. Those are the 2 things that people write about, are difficult times or happy times. Nobody wakes up and writes a song and goes, man, things are pretty average, I'm happy for average life. That's just not the way it works. See how stupid that sounds?
I get it.
So you when you have these peaks and valleys in your life, and most artists do, it gets tougher. And when you're young and you're more vulnerable, I guess, or you're willing to let yourself out there more, you have a tendency to be way more open to what you're thinking personally. And as you get older and you're worried about retirement, and I don't know how the fucking Stones do it. I really don't. They just keep writing songs, but they just announced they're releasing a new album. All right, and I digress.
Another one, really? I did not
So,
hear that.
yeah,
So,
so-
you like the Bodines then, right?
I love the Bodines, yeah.
Okay. Have you seen them live?
I have not personally.
Probably the band I've seen the most live.
Well,
Probably
see,
seen 4 or 5
when
times.
when Sam and what's his name?
Kurt
split up, or the split was starting to happen, and we're going back 19 years when the separation started to begin a little bit, because I know you're rolling your freaking eyes.
No, I didn't.
But Sam came out with his own album.
Oh, okay.
And,
I see what you mean.
And that's when all that, he was starting to promote himself, and that's how he got involved in the hard rock thing. We got involved because we were promoting our show. Richard Milne was promoting his show. So those people that had new things going on were the people who got invited to judge those kinds of things. So he, God, I have his T-shirt probably buried in a box somewhere from that album he came out with. But my guess would be that's what starts to happen, is the writing difference. If one guy gets married and has a kid and one guy doesn't, and it's a writing team, the thought process doesn't gel, I think, about what people are thinking about, what they want to write about. Now, that doesn't happen for everybody, and I'm not saying that happened for them. I'm just saying that could be a factor.
It's just a shame because they did some great music, and I've tried listening to Kurt's music because, like I said, he's still billing under the Bodines, and it's just not the same without Sammy. And I think both of them together were fantastic.
Separate, it's like Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, true. Although Paul Simon had a great career, but Art never. I don't think Art really came out with anything, did he?
Well, you couldn't with that hair. There was no chance that you were going to take that ginger package and make it your own.
But I agree, though. I mean, together, though, it was just magic when Kurt and Sammy would sing, just like Simon and Garfunkel. But separate, they ruined it, and I don't understand. They must really not want to even do that anymore, because I don't ever hear about them wanting to get back together. Not that I would. I don't even know where you would find that out. Probably going to their website or something. But.
Well, I mean, listen, here's what happens with, I think, a lot of great bands, is that eventually, whatever the things are, the differences that separate them, they go, it's when you're an artist and you write music and you've collaborated or worked with people, much like my relationship with my brother Mike in music, is that you just have this internal need, because it's what helped get you to whatever it is you were doing, so you have this need to go back to that. It's kind of like reliving your childhood a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of great artists get back together, and maybe in that situation we'll see something from them again. I mean, look, fucking Kansas is on tour again. There's a lot of underground talk about Journey going back on tour, and I think I saw something that said they were going to do it with the original lineup. I don't know if that's really going to happen.
For Journey?
Yeah.
Even Perry?
Yeah, even Steve Perry. Perry back in the saddle in the Journey thing. Now, listen, I'm throwing this out here, but yeah, there's been a lot of talk. I've talked to a lot of people who said this is happening. So I don't know. We'll see. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to get into a room and rehearse. Look at the struggles that Depp is having to do it. And part of it might be because I'm insane. I don't know. But
when you say Kansas, though, is that all the members? Because I know you can go out and see the Drifters, and it's like the guy who did one thing for them.
Kansas, I think, is made up, and I haven't done my homework, so my information may not be right. But I think a majority of it is the same lineup.
Still.
Well, if you go look at, if you go out and you watch bands and you see what people are really doing, I mean, the bands that are really garnering the most success these days, other than your pop stuff, okay, your older school rock and roll, are all a bunch of older guys. It's not young guys. And back in 1981, if you were an old guy, you can't get on stage. You're just not going to do anything. But this music that was written at those times was so timeless that like my kids grew up on a lot of that music. They like a lot of their own music, but they grew up on the same music that I grew up on because it was kick-ass.
And that's why I love the oldies, because I grew up listening to the music my dad played all the time.
Well, there was a guy in the bar last night, and he was hitting on this. They were probably close to our age, and it was a nice looking couple, and at the bar in Aurora, because I filled in out there to help the manager out, and usually there's just this myriad of crazy bullshit with. I hate when they take Michael Jackson songs and do these hot mixes and add all this fucking bullshit to it. But this guy had the touch tunes on his phone, and he was buying songs like crazy to impress this woman. And they had to be in their mid-40s. And he was playing everything from Cheap Trick to Frankie Valli.
Wow.
And, I mean, you just stand there, you hear a Frankie Valli song come on, and you go, oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fucking good shit right there. So I completely lost my point. And that's weird because that's never happened before.
Well, you were talking about how you grew up listening to music. Like the 50s and mostly 60s was not my era, was my dad's.
Right.
But I love that. Majority of the music on my playlist is 50s and 60s.
Well, my dad used to play Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I'll never forget he had this Cutlass, this 78 Cutlass, when they went to the box style Cutlass, and we had an 8-track player.
I remember those.
And it was Frankie Valli. It was Neil Sedaka. I loved Neil Sedaka, and he loved the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
And because of that, I am a huge addict of the Doobie Brothers. You suck me in with the Doobie Brothers. You want to play a Doobie Brothers song? I'll play 9 instruments on that song if I can strap them all around me just to be part of a Doobie Brothers song. So, that influence changed the way I look at music overall, and even the Doobie Brothers are back on tour with what's left of them. The problem is that a lot of these old bands that we grew up with, a lot of the guys are dying.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sold that they even sound that great anymore. Like we were talking about Journey, Steve Perry now the kid they got to replace
that
him
little Asian
is
kid,
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that he sounds way better than Steve Perry.
I don't know,
now.
man. I don't know. I we'll see if it happens. I heard it's going to happen this coming 2018, but I don't know.
That's what I worry about. There was was it a year or two ago when Paul McCartney sang, I don't know if it was the Grammys or whatever. I have to tell you, I didn't care for it. I just don't think he sounded good anymore.
Yeah, but don't you think that when you're just listening to Paul McCartney, it doesn't matter?
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody gives him a pass because, he's one of the Beatles. But I thought, listening to him for what it was, I didn't think he sounded that good. And I remember thinking, I would never want to go see this guy live. He sounded terrible to me, like he couldn't sing anymore. But people give him a pass.
The guy's old.
I get it, but I'm just saying, when is it time where Paul says, hey, you know what, thank you, I'll make an appearance, I'll give out an award or something, but singing, I don't know. And that's why I worry about Steve Perry.
It could have been a bad day. Listen, man,
it could have been.
If your obligation is to go out and do, 250 shows a year, that's not an easy gig to sing and play and do and stay healthy and feel good and put on a 3-hour show like McCartney does. That's a lot of pressure. Going to work every day, doing a normal job where you work 8 to 10 hours a day is for absolute pussies compared to an entertainer who has to, those days, although you might only see that show for an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's loading, and I don't care if it's in a stadium or it's in a little club. It's all the prep that goes into doing the show. It's the constant drive and rehearsal that goes with it. Practicing. And it's not like you're just talking. You got to sing. You got to exercise your voice. You got to make sure your voice is ready. Then you got to go do this show, pack it up, and go do it again. So that 3-hour show may take 12 hours to put together all in total. These are long days, and every artist is entitled to a bad day.
So if he's doing 250 shows, I would think.
Well, I don't think he is. I think he did like 70 shows, but he's fucking Paul McCartney.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Everybody gives him a pass for who he is, but I personally didn't think he sounded that great. I think Paul Simon sang too not too long ago, and I listened to him and I went, He's not really sounding that good anymore either.
When the fuck did you become a music critic all of a sudden, a vocal critic?
Because I'm here and we were talking about bands.
I'm going to go to the 7-Eleven and say, stop selling Slurpees and donuts because he's getting too fat. We just don't think he can swallow them good anymore.
I just think, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying because we were talking about these bands coming back together, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe you just had the expectation they're going to sound the way they did when they were in their prime.
Well, I mean, listen. I would like my wife to look like she did when I met her, and certainly she's completely comfortable with the way I look compared to when she met me. I'm the same. No, but come on, man.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I mean, sure, I would love to go see.
It's an experience to go see.
I get it. Totally, I get it. But we're just talking about the vocals.
When I first met you, you were prettier and skinnier, but I still love you.
Do you have it? What do you got next?
All right, here's what I'm going to play. This is, now, there was a band in Chicago back in the 90s that I was certain was going to be freaking huge. And a lot of, I wasn't alone in this. We went to Boston, Linda and I, for a music conference, and I brought this band's music there. And my favorite song they ever did, I couldn't find to save my life. I know I have it somewhere on disc, but I couldn't find it. But this band's called The Dog and Everything, and they finally got a deal, which I just knew in my heart they were going to get when they deserved it, and somehow they've disappeared. But this is a song, The Dog and Everything, called Hey Love. This is a Chicago band. This song is back from, I think, 2000, in the early 2000s, maybe 2006. But I stumbled across this song just seeking out The Dog and Everything because I really loved them as a band. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to play some Dog and Everything here. Hey Love. Peace.
Hey love, are you leaving here? Hey love, why you leaving?
In a box in the bag.
things that I have done. I open the box and read your letter. Every time I think about all the things I don't understand, I don't understand. I don't understand. Hey, love, I am leaving here. After all your things in a box in the bag. Hey, love, we just started here. How can we end it all? Just a paragraph. Just a paragraph. I can write that. I can write that. Even I can write that. Even I can write that.
This is Chicago violinist Rachel Barton, classical musician and rock musician with the string group Stringendo. This is the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem. And Darren, you are the biggest pain in the neck. You are annoying me so much. You know what? We love you anyway.
Oh. Well, Sal, this has been fulfilling. Like inside my heart, I feel filled up with Sal.
I think it was a good conversation. Definitely will lead into other conversations that we
Certainly. Now, listen, Sal's got to go, so I'm going to play. I got a lot of music to play, and I'm gonna run my pie hole, which I do professionally. I don't need a radio
and
show.
I will be listening.
I don't. You should see me around my house and how I talk to myself and my dogs. It's fucking terrifying. But anyway, I'm going to play another song here by, let's see, let's pick one, see how I move this around.
They got a lot of them.
Oh, I got some shit on here, too. I got Sampha. Sampha's a Chicago artist. So
I think you should, do you, I mean, obviously this was recorded and saved, but do you keep track of the music that you're playing during the shows?
Of course I do.
Because I think it would be...
I have to for ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC.
Because I'd like to make a playlist of some of this music.
Oh,
to listen
well.
to. I'll get it from you another... We don't have to do it now, but...
Well, yeah, no.
Especially today, those first... all of them, actually. Would you play 3 or 4 songs already?
Yeah.
I like them all.
And one of them was the Darren Edwards project. Do you like that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, I've always said you got a good voice. I've listened to your stuff.
There's people now online going, what the fuck?
I got a free CD a couple weeks ago.
You did?
Yes, I
did. You did.
No, it was very good. And the one group you played a couple of weeks ago was at Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven, yeah. I'm going to play them again today.
And I forgot to download it.
Yeah, I'll hook you up. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'll hook you up.
Well, I'll be listening. I'll be listening to the rest of the show. So.
All right. Well, listen to the show. Listen to it in your Jeep SRT, Mr. Fancy Pants. And I'll just drive my little Cherokee around. You drive your Cherokee SRT.
Just work on the 4-wheel drive, will you?
Fuck. You know what? Here's the thing, though, real quick. I know you got to go, but on all my 4-wheel drive trucks I've ever owned, I never pushed the button, even in the snow.
Well, see, with the last couple I've had, they're always in 4-wheel drive, so they're just there when you need it.
The only reason I think of 4-wheel drive is when the world goes completely mad and I'm going to Montana.
Oh, it's nice.
I'm going to get up that fucking hill
and
build my Unabomber hut.
It's nice in the snow, but obviously ice, snow, it doesn't matter. But I just think, plus resale value. You want a Jeep that's 4-wheel drive. I'd get rid of it. Get the red one.
Linda right now is having a stroke. Hey, listen, I want to tell you this before you leave and I go into this next song. I have got, I had a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine who does a show called Anarchy Radio.
Okay.
All right, they're anarchists. Okay. All right. Now, if you've ever spoken to an anarchist.
I've read the cookbook.
I want to have them on because, first of all, he's a great guy. I mean, he's just a real sweetheart. And it's so funny when you talk to him, you had no idea where his mindset is politically. So you have to be here. Okay. You have to have him, and I would love to have his co-host on his radio show in here so we could talk about this and music because their show is also about music.
Okay. I'm game. Let's just set it up.
But they don't talk about, funny stuff. They talk about World Takeover, and
well, I guess it will be an interesting
well,
show.
if look up Google anarchist and their theories on politics.
I'm very much aware. I know.
Right.
But I'll be here. Yeah.
We're gonna. I want to have them on. It'll be an interesting dialogue, and it'll be a lot of fun to hang out with them because they're really good guys to hang out with. Real sweethearts, actually.
I'll do it.
But I think once we talk to them, it's going to make the show really entertaining. If we're going to have people on the show, come on.
No, I'd be willing to talk.
All right.
Sure.
You and your fucking Apple Watch can get out of here. I'm going to play this song here by Sampha, Chicago artist. He actually was on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel several months back. Clearly Linda's not here, so I didn't do the research. But love this guy. And again, if you're thinking about anything that's happening in Chicago music, there's a lot of shit going on here. And this guy's worth a listen.
Gray hoodies, they cover their heads. I can't see their faces, I can't see. They knew me, looks well my hair. My heart was thumping, drumming. No need to take from me. Don't throw the paint on me. I see this light forming, I got lost astray. As far as running away, I step up, I'm on the edge now, and they see me, and I need me. I need to lose my grip, but you held up to me, and you shook me, and tell me that I'm okay. But I swear they smell the blood.
Hi, this is Ken Jagman.
And I'm Steve Kuba from the Ken Jagman Band.
You're listening to the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem Show. Steve, why aren't you wearing any pants?
Darren wanted it that way.
All right, guys. Well, I'm back here in the Dag Nabit studio all by myself. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite guitar players in the world, and this is Predator by Toshio Zeta. God, that just makes me feel good. Not gonna lie. Great tune. Good friend. Toshi Izeda. And Predator. His album Full On is available at cdbaby.com, and he's going to be out at Bike Week in Florida, jamming on the back of a Dodge pickup truck, 4 shows a day for 4 days. So go see him. Great guy. You'll love talking to him. He's just really, and I got a lot of friends in Florida. So get your asses out to Bike Week. Anyway, so here, I got to try and fill some time here. And I planned this, and I'm going to play some other great music from Chicago bands. And it was great having Sal here. Sal's becoming an important part of the show. And we have a lot of things that we are doing. I've talked about our sound stage. I've talked about changes here in the studio. I've talked about the Darren Edwards project and the great talent that is involved with that and how this is all going to work. Every week I think I got it under control and I really don't. And part of it might be because I'm a little crazy, I'm a little overwhelmed, and I got a lot of shit going on. However, it's going to be awesome when it happens, as it happens, and it's regardless, it's never going to defer from the talent. So stay tuned. Share the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem page with your friends. If you like anything here, man, do us a solid. Because in order for us to really expose great new music, expose great new artists from this great city of Chicago, we need to we need your help. I mean, I can't do it all on my own. I'm not a miracle worker. I'm just a guy who wants to do the right thing, and so is Linda. And this is where Sal was sitting. I think the chair is still warm. I think it was smoking earlier. It was because, But the Linda will be back next week for the show. She comes back Saturday from California, and we have a lot of things to talk about. We're making changes into our little studio here, our little music studio, our little radio studio, and things are going much slower at the sound stage than we had planned just because there's so much work to be done there. Anyway, I want to play some more killer music. Oh, I wanted to touch on something. Listen, I know everybody is really up in arms about Donald Trump, about politics, about everything. Hey, man, fucking relax. Let's have some fun. Let's not be so mad at each other, man, because all the hate is fucking stupid. And it accomplishes nothing. It only divides us more. And some of the things that keep us together is music. And is silly and cliche or whatever you want to call it, it is. What I played before Toshi Zeta was Sampha, S-A-M-P-H-A. Go look him up. The guy's clearly a musical genius from Chicago. His song that I played was Blood on Me. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit to find out there. So I'm going to help you find it. And, in the interim, let's see what I'm going to play now. I want to play some Miley Cyrus because I've really become a big fan of Miley Cyrus. And Miley has really come into her own. I've really kind of followed her secretly. And as much as I hated the whole Hannah Montana thing and then how she became this like little corporate thing, she's really become herself. And she's amazing. And this is a song from a new album, Younger Now. This song is called Thinking. And God bless you, Miley. I'm going to get her on this show. She will be in this fucking studio.
Trying to keep it on the low. I'm always like, where the hell you been? You tell me that you friends. Something seems just a little sus. We ain't got nothing if there ain't no trust. I'm not sure, but I got a hunch. And now you've got me thinking way too much. Way too much, 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 much. You ain't been calling me enough, 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 enough. Now I'm longing for your touch, 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 touch. I've been thinking way too much. I've been thinking way too much. You won't pick up the phone, 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 phone. Now I'm sitting here alone, 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 alone. Do you do this just for fun, 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 fun? I've been thinking way too much. I've been thinking way too much. Oh yeah. All I do is think about you. 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 It's getting late. I'm starting to obsess. You got me crying and looking like a mess. My daddy said, stay away from such. But now you got me thinking way too much. Way too much, 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 much. You ain't been calling me enough, 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 enough. Now I'm longing for your touch, 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 touch. I've been thinking way too much. I've been thinking way too much. You won't pick up the phone, 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 phone. Now I'm sitting here alone, 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 alone. Do you do this just for fun, 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 fun? I've been thinking way too much. I've been thinking way too much. Oh yeah. All I do is think about you. 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 All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I do is think about you. All night. All I've been thinking about you. Much, much, much. You ain't been calling me enough, 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 enough. Now I'm longing for your touch, 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 touch. I've been thinking way too much. I've been thinking way too much. You won't pick up the phone, 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 phone. Now I'm sitting here alone, 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 alone. Do you do this just for fun, 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 fun? I've been thinking way too much. I've been thinking way too much. Oh yeah. All I do is think about you. All I do is think about you. All I do is think about you. All I do is think about you.
Some Miley Cyrus there. God. She is really something else. But I got to tell you where I got to go right now. I got to go to one of my favorite people on earth here. And one of my favorite songs, pop songs, charting all the time, album charting all the time, right here out of Chicago. My buddy Richie Hoffer and that incredible band, him and Mike Mushi and Nick Cox and Mark. I'll talk to you guys here in a few seconds, but this is Beautiful Life by Seventh Heaven.
I've got a question for you, girl. Do you think that you might agree to take a chance and fall in love with a sentimental fool?
Hi, this is Ken Jagman.
And I'm Steve Kuba from the Ken Jagman Band.
You're listening to the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem Show. Steve, why aren't you wearing any pants?
Darren wanted it that way.
Oh, wow, the world is a very different place when I sit in the studio alone without the bishop. Obviously, It's a Beautiful Life by Seventh Heaven. Great Chicago band, been around over 30 years, 28 years, 30 years. But when it comes to rock and roll and it comes to hard work, Seventh Heaven is a band that defines that. R is a band that defines that. High Infidelity is a band that defines those kinds of things. When artists are thinking about going out and starting a band and the focus that is necessary to accomplish the goal is mind-boggling. And all these attitudes and characters and different personalities have to meld together and matter and become something. And it becomes this sort of fucked up marriage that is hard to internally manage. It's hard to internally manage for me. If you have any kind of trust issues, which I have a lot of them, managing those trust issues with a bunch of strangers or people that you just don't spend a lot of time with is one of the things that make becoming a great band and becoming a noticeable band, and a band that it can maintain longevity. It can make that difficult. So for any young artists out there, or people who are even seasoned artists and looking to do great things, those are the things you got to take into consideration. I'll tell you something. One of my favorite bands from back in the 90s, and my kids. The funny thing is I can play any one of these songs, and this, I don't understand how this band never became huge here in the United States. They were huge in Japan and still are, but they're from Boston. And I ran into this band in Boston with Linda when we were doing a conference, music industry conference, and with Dag Nabit Productions, Dag Nabit Records, and the radio show. Anyway, the point is this band actually sets a timeline for me and my children. Now, my kids are all grown now, so we go back 17, 18, 19, 20 years, and this, I play any one of these songs. Not only do my children remember the names of these songs, but they have little stories about, what they were doing when we played the song and where we were living. It really attached memories. So one of my favorite undiscovered American acts, okay, that should have been huge, is 2 Ton Shoe. And here's one of my favorite songs by them, Medicine.
It's no metaphor for
some of your medicine. Let me have some of that serum that is coursing through your veins. Let me have some of your medicine. Give me something cool to fight this fever raging in my brain. Let me have some of your medicine. Let me have some of that serum that is coursing through your veins. Let me have some of your medicine. Give me something cool to fight this fever raging in my brain.
Hi, this is Ken Jagman.
And I'm Steve Kuba from the Ken Jagman Band.
You're listening to the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem Show. Steve, why aren't you wearing any pants?
Darren wanted it that way.
Jack Letourneau from Satellite Studios in Chicago. You're listening to the world-famous Darren and the Dag Nabit Show.
Wow, go figure that. That's from old days. So listen, we need some new promos for the show. We need them. So anybody who wants to do them, you can either record them on your own, send them to me at thedag65@gmail.com, and we will include you. Send me the information on your band, whatever you're doing. Come on, man, listen, like, and share our page. You know, we're not a news source. We're not topical. We're kind of silly. And, you know, it is what it is. But it's fun, and we should use this new medium to benefit all of us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we work as a team here, we got something going on. So, I've made no secret of this since the first two shows. One of my favorite bands in Chicago is Veilside, and Tony Angle, the lead singer, was just on vacation. I've been, you know, seeing him on Facebook. He went and saw the Alamo and stuff like that, him and his beautiful wife. And I want to play this song. This is from the last album they did. This is track 6 off of Veilside's third album, and this is back in 2013. But this song has come back down, and I'm telling you, there's something really cool about this band, and I might be a freaking weirdo, but they have this chick playing guitar that, I don't know, it's fucked up, but it kind of turns me on.
All you last-minute hypocrites looking to be saved, all you air raid renegades shouting from the stage. Can you see past the front row and through the smoke and haze?
Hi, my name's Amanda. You listen to my dad and my stepmom on the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem, and this show rocks.
Hey, listen, you gotta go to... You know what? Fuck it. Let's play Wash, Rinse, Repeat. Love this song. Clearly I didn't shut it off.
Feel a little lonely since you left the message on my wall. Can you send a picture? Well, better yet, just send them all. I need it. Come a little closer. Well, let me take a peek at your tattoo. My mind is racing. All of the things that we could do. To the things I see in dreams. Show me things I've never seen. Let's see who can make us scream. Come on and do those things to me. Let me take a peek at your tattoo. My mind is racing. All of those things. Seems you got my message. Well, as a matter of fact, you've seen them all. Thank you for the picture. And had it posted to my wall. Do the things I see in dreams. Show me things I've never seen. Let's see who can make us scream. Come on and do those things to me. Ready or not, here I
A special technical announcement from the Dag Nabit Music Mayhem. Rockers, if you're not strapping a bomb to the wing of an airplane, leave the duct tape home.
Now, I'm not going to lie, that's a fantastic message, but I actually think it might be illegal. That was Stewie from 1998 doing a little intro and promo for us. And Stewie was an interesting guy because Stewie took Jonathan Livingston Seagull and did it in mime. And he was a brilliant man and still is. I don't think he's dead. And he was an incredible artist. He did these dot paintings. Oh, yes. And by the way, I'm smoking a cigar, one of my guilty pleasures that most people don't know that I love and do. but I want to make the studio smell like sex and dirt. So that's what I'm doing. You know, I had to sit here for 2 fucking hours and do this alone. Well, I had an hour with Sal. I'm going to smoke a cigar. That was Veilside, Wash, Rinse, Repeat, and as well as their song Come Back Down. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So this is why I got to get the other computers in here. But that's Veilside, man. Chicago band, Tony Angle, lead singer for that band. Really great, smart guy. And hey, man, let's get on this. Now, listen, see this sign behind me? Welcome to the shit show. Some people have said, well, they think it reads "Welcome to the shit home." Well, Kirsten, or is it? How do I say her name? No, it's Kristen Bernhardt. So she, is that right? Yeah. Kristen Bonenstedt. I love this woman. She's fantastic. She drives around town here with this little pink old camper that, you know, she gutted and then turned into this little studio, and she makes all this really cool shit. And she said she contacted me this week and said, you know, I want to fix that for you. I think, because she saw that friends of mine were making criticisms about this. I'm going to tell you right now, we're leaving it. I wouldn't let her fix it. Fuck it. I got an original. So you can fix it and do what you want. You know, in Chicago, the shameful thing is in the music business is that artists who have a lot of talent get scooped up and they get sucked away, you know. But there's this amazing artist, Kalani, who did the song with Chance the Rapper. And I got to tell you, Chance the Rapper, I'm not a big, huge rap guy. I'm not that guy. But I like rap if it's not, you know, I dug rap when Ice-T was doing shit, you know, when the Comp Killer thing, and I got it then, and then Eminem came out, and I got into it, and I always loved the Beastie Boys, and then I loved Jay-Z, but shit just gets a little weird with rap for me. That's just me. But then you have bands like, you know, TLC and then artists like Beyonce and everything. They kind of seem to just, it all seems like all the music's in a sponge and you squeeze it and it's just water when it comes out. However, Kalani's a Chicago artist, and this is a song of hers called Crazy, and she does this with Chance the Rapper. And by the way, shout out to Chance the Rapper, because, you know, this guy's, it seems at this point, he's got a good moral foundation. He's doing good things. He's a young man who cares. And for that, I respect the fuck out of him, and I'm going to support him. I'm going to support him on every level, and I will get him on this show. As long as we get legs and you guys are liking and sharing this page, I will bring the talent here. I promise. You just got to share and like, share and like, share and like. And there's going to be no shortage of people who tell me I'm an asshole and I'm doing it wrong. Go ahead and bring it. Oh, by the way, a lot of questions about why I am growing the beard. I'm not cutting my hair, and I'm not shaving anymore for a while. So get used to it. And I might actually go get my ears pierced again. Yeah, I'm getting fucking old, and I don't give a shit. I'm old, I'm ugly, and I don't care. So, that being said, let's play some Kalani. This is an amazing tune. You can find it on YouTube. Chicago artist. Let's kick some ass, and we'll end the show after this.
Crazy. I go. Everything I do it with a passion. If I gotta be a bitch, I'ma be a bad one. Yeah. I'm AI with the designs, do rag. Bounce back game, good to heaven. They be tryna count me out though. I'm just counting blessings. A real woman by the paper. Niggas don't know where I came from. Where I really came up. You never could say I'm lacking. All the shit I've been through only made me more of an assassin. I kill 'em with compassion. And baby, if they asking, tell 'em, I go crazy. You showed up to see me lose, but I overcome, so you overcame. Basic, ain't nothing about me. Basic, crazy, I'm crazy. Better watch what you say to me, cause young swag got the answers. Give 'em hell, give 'em pressure. Big couch, no manners. Dirty dancing. Take a look at what I did. Go for circle with the ribs. Whipping at the grid. Get a handful of this nasty. I got it, and you gon' respect it. Ain't nothing gon' stop me from making it happen. So baby, if they asking, tell 'em, I go crazy. I go crazy. Live for the challenge, only makes me stronger. One more reason to turn up on them. I go crazy.
Hey guys, I want to thank everybody who tuned in, commented. I can't see it because the goddamn machine is so far away. But that will change here in coming weeks. If you like and share our page, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't. I don't really give a fuck either way. I'm going to do what I want. But hey man, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Sal for coming on out, and we will certainly see you next week. And I'm going to leave you with a little Darren Edwards project. You know what? No, I'm going to leave you with Silent Innocence. Silent Innocence. I'm going to just give you a little history here. Silent Innocence is a song I wrote right before I met Linda. And it was about an article or a news report, and this ties into everything that's going on now, about, guns. And a guy went out and bought a gun, and the very day he bought that gun, in the middle of the night, his daughter was getting a glass of milk, and he jumped out of bed with his new 9mm, and he shot her.
What's that underneath your pillow? Something that you think you need to have. Silent innocence can be stolen. Is that what makes you feel like a man? How do we get so socially degressed that we think else is okay? Take another life and all its happiness. We can find another numbers. We can't stand idly by. Feeling sad about what you read is not enough. Take a good look. Another child has died. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Hey, hell. Another child's died. Another child's died. Morals have lapsed. You know the family pride is gone. Nowhere left but the streets to turn. Children making their way. Oh no, the perfect fuel for hatred to burn. It's ideal, man.
Hey, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Sunday, 11 a.m. Like and share.